Hi, my name is Maggie Scapoletti. I'm the kindergarten first grade humanities teacher.
And I'm Christina Verne. I'm the school social worker for lower school.
Today we will be presenting on PBIS, positive behavioral interventions and supports, as well as classroom management.
And the reason why we put these two components together is because classroom management and PBIS can really help you when you're trying to deal with your students and in your regular everyday classroom management. So what is PBIS? For those that don't know, PBIS stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. It's a rapidly growing, nationally recognized system. Currently, it's being used in over 10,000 schools nationwide. PBIS is research-based, early intervention program which uses data to ensure that all students' behavioral needs are met. It's a school-wide behavioral program which emphasizes on the student's positive behavior. All students' behaviors are met with an appropriate and explicit consequence, whether positive or negative. In our school, it's only used in our lower school component. It's not used with the high schoolers or the middle schoolers. So for capital press, PBIS, our acronyms stand for, it's the Blazers. It's being safe all the time, listening, being attentive in class, being zealous in their learning, empathetic towards others, being responsible for their actions, and showing respect to themselves and to others. Some of the other vocabulary that you'll see throughout our presentation is QUINT, which here in our school we have 5 semesters. So to split up each semester we use the word QUINT. We have advisors, which is a staff liaison between the students and what's going on academically and their parents. So our mission statement for our behavior and for the program, the PBIS program, is Capital Preparatory Magnet Schools Lower School is a collaborative learning community that exhibits safety, respect, and responsibility so that everyone will shine as a blazer. We try to remind the students of that on a consistent basis, because consistency is like key for them. So how does it work? All the students and staff are informed of the PBIS program and all of its functions. So by the beginning of the year, all of the students will be aware of the purpose of the program, the tickets. We're trying to be as open as possible, letting the parents know as well. So as an advisor, you will be responsible of telling the parent if something does occur or if the child got a blazer ticket. It's always good. Parents always want to receive positive reinforcement and positive news also. The behavioral expectations for all school environments, such as the classroom and non-classroom environments, are explicitly defined and taught, and also reminded to the students throughout the school year. They're young, they're students, so consistency and constant reminders to them is going to be very important. Students are given blazer tickets throughout the year from any lower school staff member, which allows them the opportunity of sitting at the VIP table with a buddy. So any staff member can give them a blazer ticket. Security guards are aware of it, but since there's a discrepancy between high school and lower school, they don't really implement it. So that's why it's extremely important that we all do it.
And the student that earns the most blazer tickets for the month, for the week, earns the VIP table at lunch with a buddy.
Exactly. And the kids really enjoy that, so.
They do get excited.
Why do we use PBIS? Historically, it's a favored approach to school-wide discipline because it has been heavily reactive in nature, because it does focus so much on the positive. In the past, educators typically have waited for the student's behavior to become more severe and will react to this with punishment based on consequences. This has led to higher teacher burnout rates, larger proportions of students referred to the office for discipline, and higher rates of violence in our school. If children see that we're constantly reinforcing the positive, they won't so much display the negative. And also, we will focus on the negative quicker than as if we were just letting it slip by the cracks and not really focusing on those students that are really trying and modeling good behavior. So again, why do we use it? Current research has shown that using punishment, especially when it's not consistent and coupled with varying consequences, is not effective and shaping their behavior, or especially appropriate behavior. Students need to be explicitly taught appropriate school behaviors and rewarded for those behavior expectations. And that's why PBIS is so good in that aspect. It's a system approach that addresses all their behaviors in a proactive manner. So it's not focusing on the negative, but focusing on the positive. So what can we do? As teachers, facilitators, and staff of Laura School, we can do a lot. There's so much that we can do with this program. It's definitely a team-based process, which means that we all work together in the process. We all give our feedback when we meet for staff meetings. It's extremely important. We plan, we evaluate, and we try to solve as many problems as possible. Together we discuss and evaluate the needs of the students through the process, only if it's implemented correctly. Research currently is demonstrating that it's growing, which shows that appropriate implementation of PBIS schools can increase the amount of appropriate student behavior. So again, back to the solving, planning, evaluation, this is key when it comes to students that, if they're in the process of PPT due to learning or behavioral disorder or some type of behavioral issue that they're facing, the data that we receive, as long as it's accurate data, is going to be so key in the meeting. The implementation of PBIS, so there's 3 different types. The ongoing and the daily reinforcement. Basically, each student can earn a Blazer coupon, which is the Blazer ticket. The student will drop his or her ticket in the designated bin for each grade in their classroom. The time dropped for the ticket is based on the teacher's discretion. So the teacher can discuss or let the class know when is a good time for them to drop their tickets off. And each teacher will be responsible or have a buddy from their class. We've made it a class chore, which has been great for them to bring it down to the designated buckets down in the main office.
And these are the classroom buckets right here. Here I have kindergarten bucket and a first grade bucket, so when the student earns a Blazer ticket, they put it directly in their bucket. And then I have a helper every week bring down the main office to the larger buckets, and then Ms. Rivera picks a child for the VIP table. So this is actually exactly what the Blazer ticket looks like.
And this is actually a bonus for everyone. We try to make it where it works for everyone. So as the students receive Blazer tickets, staff members, as they get another stack of Blazer tickets, because there's 25 tickets per stack, they can put in a raffle ticket. And that earns a teacher an opportunity of winning a Dunkin' Donuts gift card and some other little prizes that we do during our Friday breakfast, staff breakfast that we have. So weekly reinforcement, again, this goes back to them sitting at the VIP table. So like Ms. Capoletti said, I will pick a ticket out of the little bucket for each grade, and the drop-off is normally by Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning, since first lunch is at 10:45, and I'll pull it out, and then we'll see what students out of each grade has the opportunity of sitting with their buddy. It also allows them an opportunity of receiving the most Blazer ticket award at the end of the month. So we'll have the recognition for each student that does receive the most tickets. If there's a tie, then those students will go. But it's the one student or 2 students in the entire lower school that has demonstrated receiving positive tickets and positive reinforcement on a consistent basis. They will have their picture displayed in the cafeteria in the Blazer Star Wall, which is also something that kids love because high schoolers get to see, and a lot of them have siblings here. So you really can't see it clearly, but this is a picture of our VIP table, our Star Wall down in the cafeteria, which is right in front of the VIP table. And lastly, another implementation of PBIS is at the end of the coin, students that have not received office discipline referrals will be eligible to, again, go to the ceremony, the assembly that we have at the end of the coin. And the students that do receive the office referrals, they would have to sit during a social skills instruction with a designated staff. And there is an outline of what activities they need to do to discuss what did they do to cause them or what caused them to have an office referral. Also, this is an opportunity for the class to earn a PBIS Most Blazer Tickets trophy. It's an actual trophy that we have that each classroom is able to hold down for the entire month. So just to build a little competition between the kids.
And the kids really do get into it. The first graders will be like, come on, we gotta earn more Blazer tickets to get the trophy at the end of the month. So it is very exciting for the kids.
So PBIS is also used for the tiers, for the scientific research-based intervention. So again, that goes back to the tier 1, 2, and 3, and that's really important when we're looking at students that are going through the PPT process, or any students that are facing any behavioral difficulties in the classes. So again, if it's put into place appropriately, the data in there will be so effective. So what are ODRs, Office Discipline Referrals? If a student's involved in a minor infraction, they'll receive a yellow form. And if they're involved in a major infraction, they'll be sent a red form. Now, two major differences here is yellow form are done by school staff members, so by a teacher or any staff member. A red form is normally done by an administrator. That's more of a severe case. So again, minor may be like pushing someone, or in our first grade class, writing on someone's paper purposely, or again, pushing someone, getting in someone's face, name calling. So again, that's more like a warning that the teacher can give to the student, and they would just document it. Again, this is more for documentation and for data. This form does need to be reviewed and signed by the parent. Now, we're still trying to see how to best work the system because we're just creating it this year. And what I think what we're going to start doing is having them all turned into the student advisor. So that way the advisor can also implement it in their conversations when they speak to the parents bi-weekly.
And a yellow ticket actually looks exactly like this, and it just has minor behavioral infractions. There's 4 incidents that you can list for each student, and you just document the date, the time, the motivation, the problem behavior, the staff intervention administered, and so on.
And then there's the red form, and this also, you know, they get their consequence and their form completed by the administrator. And this needs to be reviewed and signed as well by the parent and also given to the advisor. Normally the parent's already made aware of the red form immediately because it's a more severe issue, such as fighting, swearing excessively, purposely. And there's a list that I'll go through quickly in a little bit. Oh, so here's a minor, calling out vandalism, very minor vandalism, maybe like writing on a desk with pencil or something, something they can easily erase, throwing objects, cheating, indirect swearing, refusal to follow directions, running in the halls, not being where you should, inappropriate gestures. The most important part of all of this is using your own discretion. If it's something that a child typically does, you don't want to constantly give them yellow forms, the yellow tickets, but you do want to keep reminding the child and teaching them the right way of doing what they need to be doing. And just a tip, the consequences given for any minor incident may occur in your classroom, so they're just any everyday consequence. Lunch attention, or stay 5 minutes. I know Ms. Scapoletti, Ms. Ellenwood have done, 5 minutes for lunch, 5 minutes for recess. And the purpose of it, again, is just to provide information for us and to track data in regards to their behavior. And this is helpful for our student assistance team, which is basically staff, administration, myself, and our special education teacher, when we discuss students' behaviors. Major infractions are physical, verbal aggression, so fighting, vandalism, major vandalism, swearing at someone, stealing, weapon use or threat, bullying, inappropriate sexual innuendos, elopement, aggressive use of materials, and chronic minor infractions. So 4 of those, because they're divided up into 4. So they get 4 chances on 1 yellow slip. So if they have that full yellow slip completed, then it equals 1 red slip, and then they have to go for the next step to meet with an administrator. So a tip for this is, again, if the student's behavior is a safety concern for either themselves or others, then they need to automatically meet with an administrator. Don't wait until they have 4 consistent signs or issues on the yellow slip. If it's a concern for you, then it's a concern for everyone, and the administrator needs to be informed immediately. The purpose of it is the information provided are to track the data. Again, same purpose for the SAT team to have the data when we're meeting and discussing the child's behaviors. So yellow forms versus red forms, 3 yellow forms equals 1 red. 1 red form, not allowed, the student's not allowed to participate in the end of the point assembly. If there is a consistency in yellow and or red forms, the SAT team members need to be notified as soon as possible so we could further evaluate what's really going on with this child. Is there something going on at home? Is there a change? So helpful tips. Use PBIS as a tool to assist with classroom management.